All right, and we are recording. Fantastic. So let's see, who else are we missing right now? Chris. We just need Chris here. How's everyone recovering from travel?
Haven't slept so well in in a whole week.
Agreed. Me too. I'm so happy to be in my own bed. I feel like I could sleep for days right now.
Yeah. Might
But it
also
was,
have to do. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna, no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, yeah, for me, it's like might also be for the fact that I did not drink any alcohol.
Yeah, seriously, me either. I was on the water and tea train for the last 2 days, and I'm sure that's contributing to me sleeping much better. Chris, I see you're here. Come on up on stage. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Awesome. Team Bogota. I missed you guys already. It was so great hanging out for the week.
Yeah, definitely. That was pretty cool. Us all working remotely, just having time to be together, do great conferences, and just generally have a great time.
Well, for anyone listening or for those listening, we are recording this and you'll be able to access it on YouTube as well. But we appreciate you stopping by to listen. We really had a fantastic week in Bogota for Devcon 6. And we wanted to jump on here and just kind of share some of our experiences throughout the week. And then in the second half of this session, we have co-founder Alex Poon and head of product Chris Carella that will be sharing some future features that we want to implement, but this is also a really great opportunity for you to step up and ask any questions you have about the platform. I'm Xandra, and I'm the community manager for CharmVerse. And so today we have Alex and Matt, CharmVerse co-founders, Chris, head of product, and one of our developers, Mo. So we all just got back from Bogota. We were spending a week there for DevCon 6. We all were in the same house, which was fantastic. Personally, I thought it was great. For those who don't know, the CharmVerse team works remotely. So this was such a great opportunity to sit around the table in the morning, have coffee, and kind of hash stuff out in person rather than having to do it over Zoom or Discord. So that was great. What did you guys think? Just we'll start with Mo. How was it? Did you like staying in the same house? What were your thoughts on it?
Well, I think there's nothing like waking up in the morning, seeing the team, and being ready to go, sharing coffee together. So that was quite nice and it was quite motivating. And I think it's much more soulful as an experience rather than us just being all spread over various hotel rooms and floors. Although, PSA, we did have a great Airbnb, thanks for the choice, Alex. Enough space for everyone to feel comfortable and also get together.
You, Chris, did you how was sharing the house with 4 other coworkers?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll just echo that. I think it was pretty great. We have a pretty good team, pretty great team. We have really good vibes in that Airbnb. It was great to see everyone in the morning and share breakfast. It was great to, after the events, all kind of meet back at the house and hang a little bit. And it was also great for me to be able to just subvert my own roadmap and walk over to Mo and Matt and occasionally have them fix little bugs and little UX enhancements that weren't necessarily planned for the week.
Alex, thoughts on your end?
Hopefully, we're not going to an every questions across everybody. But I mean, I very much enjoy spending time with all of you. Certainly, I know some of you more than other, but yes, like for example, it is my first time meeting Mo. So it was cool to really spend time together. And sometimes it is more efficient to talk to things like face to face and be able to talk to. And we certainly, particularly on the product side, then we had a couple of agenda items that we wanted to talk more deeply and brainstorm a little bit. And I think we did do that. So on kind of how we think about revenue, and then how do we think about the creator profile. So I think that was a great opportunity. That was a great opportunity for us to go through some of those conversations.
Yeah, definitely. I personally think being able to stay in the house together adds something special to it. Just those moments when normally people would go back to their hotel room Whether it's like that last drink at the end of the night or coffee in the morning. It just really, I think, bonds the people that are staying together. So we had all sorts of events, from panels to brunches, happy hours, rooftop parties. There may have even been a rave in there. What was your favorite event? Matt, I'll throw that to you. Did you have a favorite? I don't know if Matt can get on there. Okay, let's send it back to Alex. What about a favorite event that you attended that week?
Well, I mean, yeah. So I'll share a little bit about, I think, high level vibe too. I think, like, sure, there's a crypto winter, but actually, I was quite excited to be at MCon in general. And my favorite event is just the 1 day Sai event. The Dallas actually happened like in between MCon. I mean, sorry, Devcon. And because of that, I think within, even though, yeah, it was part of crypto winter, and with that, we truly see a lot of builders out there talking about like what is the future, how do we find utility in the space, and certainly driving with like how we like to think about the space is more than a set of tokens that you can trade, but it's like we are building on this world's computer, and it was just really awesome to see all the various people building and talking about like what they are, how they see the world, now that we're looking for more utility.
Chris, how about a favorite event you attended?
Yeah, it's super hard to choose a favorite event. I mean, there were definitely a couple of good parties at night, and then I think maybe to build on what Alex is saying, it's like crypto is big. It's like there's so many different. First of all, Devcon was a huge conference, and there's so many interests in crypto. You may be into DeFi, you might be into impact DAOs, or just DAOs in general. NFTs might be your thing, or some combination of all of those. And so I always loved the events when I was around DAO people, because that is sort of my first love in crypto. And so I guess I'll just kind of shout out two. One was Thirsty and Juicebox threw on an event around user-centered design for impact DAOs, and it was just really intimate. Even though maybe 25 people, all impact DAO people or DAO enthusiasts. And we had a workshop on how user-centered design can work in Web3, and it was a really great discussion. And then one that was less DAO-based was just a Farcaster meetup, and so I'm a member of a decentralized social network called Farcaster. Have been communicating with these people on Farcaster for months, and so it was just really great to like meet people in space and talk about the projects they're working on, and just to get to know people a little bit better.
Yeah, it's so great to be able to meet people in real life. You build these relationships, online, and then you make the connection in real life, and it's really exciting. Yeah, I really liked it. There was such a variety of events, kind of something for everyone. Personally, I really loved the CharmVerse brunch that we threw. We hosted a brunch of 20 to 25 people, and that was a great opportunity to just meet some of our users and partners and friends, of course, and just like sit around, have breakfast with people, have coffee. That was really nice. And then I really liked the BitDAO rooftop party. I met some great people there. A couple of the guys from BitDAO, and then Josh from Opolis, which is an employment cooperative, and then John Poller, who runs ETH Denver. It was so exciting, especially knowing I'm going to be at ETH Denver. Just so many great people in this space to meet and talk with, and I'm really looking forward to following up with everyone. And then I think we'll all agree, maybe one of our favorites, and shout out to Mo. We all ended up at a rave one night. Mo got us the invite because he met the coordinator. So thanks, Mo. I think that was like one of the most fun events that we were all able to attend as a team.
Pleasure. Thanks, Alex. And despite it being a rave, it was also a surprisingly amazing evening in terms of meeting people, being in relationships, talking about Web3. So definitely my kind of party in terms of quality of chat and quality of music.
So Mo, had you ever been to a conference before?
Yeah, so I used to live in London, around 2011, 2017. So I've been to a bunch of conferences, but I can say without a doubt that this was the biggest, and best conference I've ever been to. First of all, it being week long. Secondly, the location. Third, the industry. It was just really cool how everyone's open to talk with each other. And I think it really reflects just the collaborative nature of Web3. People are chatting, learning about many things. So yeah, I mean, overall, hands down, best conference I've ever been to. And it's going to be a very high bar for Devcon 7.
I agree. Yeah, it's really great. Everyone's just ready to chat with each other and geek out on each other's projects, and it was a fantastic experience. However, so Team CharmVerse did not go to the official DevCon conference. We didn't buy those tickets. We really just stuck with satellite events. Did anyone feel like you missed out on anything? I'm curious anyone's take on this. Chris?
So I think for my primary purpose was to meet a lot of the people who I've known through the internet and meet people interested in DAOs. I think these satellite events were kind of the perfect way to go. That being said, sort of the crypto Web3 on-chain maxi nerd in me would have loved to have seen Vitalik talk, or there was a really great gaming on-chain gaming talk by Dark Forest. Really, a couple of these, a lot of stuff around ZK rollups, which I find fascinating. And so, the computer scientist in me would have certainly enjoyed the pass. But sort of the main reason why I was there and the main value I was going to get out of that conference didn't really require it.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I missed out on anything, but because there's so many satellite events, you can fill your days and more. I had to skip events because there were so many satellite events happening. Alex, what are your thoughts on, official conference versus satellite events?
Yeah, so my typical advice to anybody going to conferences is that, well, I guess it depends on what you're looking for, but my typical advice that I try to follow myself is that if you want to learn things, there's a more efficient and higher impact way to learn it through YouTube and so on, instead of going to a conference. Unless the conference is a very specialized conference where none of the content is actually broadcast, which is highly unlikely for many conferences, including Devcon, right? So yeah, like the rest of the team, I was there to spend time with others in the community, and actually in this case also spend time with our own team. So for that, I definitely did not miss the main conference, and I met plenty of people at the conference that also did not attend any of the main talk. I did miss that there was almost a full day event on ZK Rollup, including a bunch of hands-on workshops and stuff like that. I wish I had the energy and the time to nerd out on ZK Rollup that day. I did not, so that's probably more the high level regret.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends conference to conference. I'm gonna check in with Matt again, just seeing if he was able to connect. Matt? Are you able to?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, so how about just Bogota in general? What are your thoughts? How did you like the city?
Mirror what everyone else was saying. I will say, I feel like I might have missed out on the airplane heading back. I saw some people with some crazy wackadoo t-shirts. Fun. But I really enjoyed getting to meet people. Brunch or dinner or even a happy hour is a great way to get to know the community and conferences. And you end up just watching someone talk through a presentation that's usually recorded, you can watch later.
That's true. And I think that's a good point. It definitely varies on event to event. You can be at a panel and learn a ton of stuff, but then you can really just make that connection with that person later in the day over a drink or a lunch or a party or something, and have those conversations you can't have during the panel when you're really just listening.
Yep.
Matt, what did you think of Bogota in general? How did you like the city?
Oh, it was so fun. I had no idea really what to expect going in. Already telling friends about it. I'm like, you should go to Bogota. The food's amazing. People are really nice. We got to play Tejo, this crazy game that's all but with explosives, so that they know how to have fun. And there were some concerns about whether it's safe or not, but I feel like we stayed in some safe areas, and I think we had a good time. I wasn't really looking over my shoulder that often.
100%. I feel like safety, I think this is definitely worth talking about. Safety was really put at the forefront of this conference. Everyone was really talking about how unsafe it is in Bogota. And personally, I had some apprehensions going into it. And really, though, once arriving, it's, I would say, like any other city, just be aware, be smart. You know, we took Ubers where we went. Yeah, what did other people think about that? I thought it was a great city and would love to go back. Chris?
Yeah, so I fell in love with Bogota for sure. All the things Matt said, really, really great city, great food, street art everywhere, wonderful people. I live in Miami, which is not too far, and so I'm already realizing that this is like can be a 3-day weekend spot for me. And looking at the calendar, trying to figure out when I can get back. Felt safe the whole time. It's funny. My next conference here in Miami is Art Basel, and in some of the groups I'm in, they're like, is Miami safe? Miami's not that safe. Make sure you have pepper spray. It's sort of like the same conversation no matter what city you're in. And I'm like, guys, Miami statistically is safer than Paris. Like, I think it'll be okay here. And, I think it's just my advice to anyone traveling to any urban area is just smart practices. Be aware of your surroundings, know what neighborhoods you're in. So, yeah, I mean, I have no safety concerns about going back to Bogota with my wife and child.
100%. I agree. I really look forward to going back there. Okay, Matt touched on it. The food was amazing. Mo, what was your favorite meal you had in Bogota?
Well, I know I bashed your ears in with that, but with Matt, we went to the mall in Bogota, which, no, you're going to a foreign countryside. Let's go to the mall. And we had this amazing burger. It was like a Bourbon burger. It was like $2, right? But just like the perfect burger and the perfect balance of flavors. And the second meal, that last one we did on the Saturday, the barbecue restaurant where you literally had the cow like cooking next to an open flame. That was just fabulous, and little extra bonus for those small flakes. So overall delicious. I did not have one bad meal in Bogota. Those falafel weren't so good, but that'll be like the small exception. Everything else was absolutely delicious.
Oh man, talking about that Saturday lunch. Alex, why don't you share with us a new experience we had while there?
So besides so for the audience, the CharmVerse team, after spending a week in sort of downtown Bogota, we decided to go out to this 1-hour excursion that Zandra had set up for us, and we were going out to the salt cathedral underneath this salt mine, which is super cool. Although what we have done though is that like we were we stopped at a lunch place, which kind of Timbo saying that like there's all this meat that they're grilling right next to the fire. But besides beef and pork, we will also offer capybara as a meal option. So I did order a tri mix of beef, pork, and capybara, and I think many of us did end up eating this the biggest rodent that you can get in either America or the whole world.
Tasted like chicken. It was delicious. It was a great spot. Our driver that we had hired for the day suggested it, and specifically mentioned that capybara was on the menu. And I was a little timid to try it, but it was actually really tasty, and it really did taste like chicken. But that meal was amazing, and it was great to make it outside the city. Zipiquera is the name of that salt mine. I definitely suggest checking it out. It was really cool. And like Alex said, we all busted our asses during the conference. It was fantastic. And then we spent 2 days as a team being able to travel around and check out some of the sites. One of which was Monserrate, which is this big hill with a sanctuary on top, amazing views to soak in Bogota. So that was really special too, to be able to do that as a team. Alex was going to make us walk up the hill, but I'm going to say, fortunately, we were expecting rain and decided to just take the train up. But it was nonetheless still an amazing experience. So let's see. Any other takeaways you guys want to share? I don't want to take up too much time here. But yeah, other takeaways from Bogota.
But I have one big takeaway from Devcon, which is crypto is alive and well. It was just really encouraging to meet all the people working on the hard problems that are required to take crypto to mainstream. I did not go into Bogota even thinking about this at all. And then I met a bunch of teams working on security solutions for the average person. You know, how can I make sure that this smart contract I'm interacting with is trusted? How can I make sure my DAO treasury is not drained? So really important stuff like that. So much emphasis around ZK rollups, which really just there's so many uses for it, including like, you know, having a lot more privacy on chain, but also just a lot higher throughput. So, you know, blockchain computers can work as fast as any computer. And, you know, it's just a time where people are heads down building. Everyone was like in really good spirits and exchanging ideas. And I certainly, you know, I love blockchain. I'm you know, like a crypto maxi, but I left Bogota thinking like, oh, this is gonna go well. Like people are excited and working on the hard problems, and yeah, and then just that overall thing of like crypto is alive and well and has a real future.
Yeah, I definitely left feeling like really invigorated in the space, talking to all these, you know, brilliant people, great projects, and shout out to all of you guys, also talking to you guys and just always being informed every day about new stuff. Anyone else want to share any takeaway or other vibes from the conference?
Yeah, I guess I can share something on my end. So, you know, as a software developer in CharmVerse, you know, I'm kind of spending the day building our products, working on various features. And so it's kind of really cool to get from behind the screen, talk with people. And I just found it really motivating. I think I'll be going away with this, just really with a better awareness of our mission to make Web3 super accessible. You know, we found a lot of very intense, very deep projects. And so I'm looking forward to more integrations, more accessibility, just really helping make CharmVerse a product that helps people get into Web3 and, you know, just make the most of it, essentially. And yeah, just great meeting everyone. Had an amazing time again.
Well, I think I'm going to wrap this portion of the chat so we can move on to the AMA. I want to give Alex and Chris time to kind of talk about upcoming stuff for CharmVerse. But just to wrap the Bogota portion, because I know some of the development guys got to get together for a meeting. But it was a really busy week. It was full of events and after parties and all that stuff. It was exhausting, but it was invigorating, and I would not change a thing about it. And it also just really solidified what an amazing team we have at CharmVerse. And personally, I'm so proud to be a part of it. And it speaks volumes when you can live with your coworkers for a week and still really like them, if not more, at the end of it. So I'm looking forward to the next opportunity that we get the team together in person, and hopefully our entire team can be there. So thanks to Matt and Alex for making that happen and getting us to Bogota. Fantastic conference, and I really look forward to the next one. So if everyone's good with that, Matt and Mo, I know you have a meeting to get to, and we'll turn the stage over to Chris and Alex to talk about the future of CharmVerse. And this is also a really good opportunity for anyone listening to raise their hand and ask some questions as well, if you have questions about the platform.
Sandra, how would you like people to ask the question? Would it be easier if they ask it in the general chat channel, and then we can read off that?
Okay, so full transparency, this is new to us hosting one of these guys. So I believe that they can request to speak and I can grant them access. Otherwise, in the general chat, I can keep an eye on that and kind of relay the questions.
Cool.
So let's,
either way will work.
Yeah, let's see how it goes, I guess. You guys will be my guinea pigs, so bear with me. Though in theory, some of these people may not be a part of our Discord, so they won't be able to be in general chat. So why don't you guys kick it off, and then if someone requests, I'll keep an eye on that.
Sure. So I just want to start sharing with sort of some of the reaction we have gotten of people using CharmVerse, coming into CharmVerse, and the direction and some of the new feature that we have launched recently. So first of all, I definitely start to get that reaction from the community that I think we are on the right track in taking this position, which actually when we started a year ago was not necessarily a popular position, maybe even not popular today, is that we want to take a user-centric experience for the community. We are not building a protocol, but instead we want to provide a unified experience for our users that is easy to use, easy for them to collaborate, govern, and hold each other accountable while they're working within Web3. And that's had been our product principle and company principle in moving forward. So very excited to see some of the feedback that we have gotten from the audience here, and also from other parts of the community as they interact with CharmVerse, the positivity and excitement that they've gotten. Particularly recently, we launched a proposal builder component, so sort of building on top of our productivity Legos of databases and documents. We've created more guided flow. So if you actually, in the CharmVerse interface at the top left, there's a little proposal link. If you click on there, that's where you can use the proposal builder that's integrated into the CharmVerse workspace. The problem we are trying to solve here is that we've seen a lot of challenges in various community, including DAOs that we talk to, that people are not voting. But I think besides finding ways to remind people that a vote is happening, we feel that one of the root causes is that the community does not have enough engagement in the proposal creation process. So that's why we created a proposal builder, so that we create a transparent guided experience for you to step through. From drafting your proposal to letting the community comment, suggest changes, do a poll on the proposal, to moving it to be a more formalized review, and then finally getting it sent to a formal vote. And by the way, the formal vote you can vote within CharmVerse or send it to Snapshot, do a Snapshot integration. We certainly have gotten some really exciting feedback from that. The partners of ours who might not be ready to use the full CharmVerse platform, but able to just start using the proposal flow functionality for the proposal construction process. And I think it is bringing that level of engagement and transparency that we want to some of these community. Still early days, but some really, really exciting feedback that we've gotten so far.
Yeah, Alex, and I'll just, I think that's a really great feature to highlight, because one, it also highlights some of our product principles, and one of them, like you said, which is you can do everything on platform. It's very easy, but if you want to vote on Snapshot, we have a module that it's easily to hook up to Snapshot, and so generally throughout CharmVerse we want to work with the best protocols and just be that interface layer for you. And Proposal Builder is an example of that. Certainly when you get to that last stage and it's time to vote, you can go to Snapshot, you can use all their voting strategies, all of the vote. When the votes happen on Snapshot, the information updates back on CharmVerse. And so that's from from a design and philosophy standpoint. And then just as a user, I am even a delegate to many DAOs. And I can't even tell you how many times I'm asked to vote on something that it's the first time I'm seeing it, is I'm just reading the snapshot and I have no context of the discussion. And then a lot of that discussion will have occurred in Discord, which it could just be a full-time job to keep up with Discord, especially for certain DAOs. And so just, a lot of the times when you're in a DAO, you just get a vote sprung on you. It was discussed in Discord, maybe publicly in Discord, but Discord by its nature can be a little bit private. And so bringing a lot of transparency to the process. There's a point in Proposal Builder where the proposal goes into community feedback, and you can ask questions, you can comment, you can suggest edits, you can even
I think I lost Chris, but is it just me?
No, I can't hear him either. So if you want to pick up and run with him, with where he was.
Sure thing. I mean, I think that that's really is a proposal builder. Oh, we have completely lost Chris. But so that's one of our recent launches. So let me talk a little bit about what's coming up in the next few weeks, or for the month of November. Another big feature that we have been working on, and it should be coming out, some version of it will be coming out in the next week or so, will be the member directory. So for those of you who click around in our platform, you certainly would see that each member has your own profile, and that profile is mostly automatically constructed for you. That we pulled in any kind of voting and proposal data that you have done interacting outside of CharmVerse through our data partner DeepDAO. We also pulled in sort of any NFT or POAP holding that you have. And then you can selectively choose what information to show in your profile. Building on top of that, what we have heard from a ton of communities is that there's no easy way to understand your membership. There's no easy way for each member to get to know each other, to collaborate, or to work together. Understand what each other's interests are, what each other's strengths and skills. Or simply want to say that, you know what, we want to do a New York meetup, but like who in the membership actually live in New York? So addressing some of these almost in a way basic challenges of members. So you will see us come out with a much more comprehensive member directory that enable the admin and the community itself create and collect information that makes sense across the whole community, and enabling some of these use cases we just talked about. Chris, welcome back.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just add on top of that, this membership directory is being designed in a way that can be privacy preserving. So there's some pretty good access controls, so the admins can say, hey, only this information is for admins. So maybe you only want your email address to go to admins. Maybe it's a role-based thing. So, hey, this information only goes to people in the finance role, and so maybe only your wallet address goes to the finance role. But also, finally, every field is optional on the member side, and so if you don't feel comfortable putting in your location, you can just leave it blank. If you don't feel comfortable putting in your email or wallet, you can leave it blank. And so, some communities that we've spoke to want to share all of this stuff, and community like Friends with Benefits, the location is actually a very important part of the experience. But then some, of course, keep some anonymity and some privacy, and so we're supporting both use cases here.
Very cool. Let's ask some. Oh yeah, sorry. I am looking at the audience questions, so I can start to answer some of them. So yeah, I'll take on both the question about background and also like pricing. So yeah, I think that it is not necessarily advantage or disadvantage, but I think advantage is that we come from a world where we are building software for people, building software that people use, building software that is valuable and provide utility. I think like that has been helpful for us to think about this world in a way differently or in a way the same. So I see the Web2 background being a positive, even though we have to, of course, learn a lot of the crypto and blockchain related technology and as well as knowledge. But it has been quite a journey. On pricing, I understand. I think what we can say is that if you are coming, if you're looking at alternatives such as say Web2 comparison, say like a Notion, what we can promise is that you will get a better deal. And we are going to come up with pricing information sooner rather than later. That's again, as I mentioned earlier, or as I alluded to, that's one of the discussion that we had when we were out in Bogota. So I think you will hear from us more details about exactly what the pricing will look like. But what I can share with this group here is that, it will not be user-based. It will be based on the amount of content and transactions that you have on the platform. But we are not here to really squeeze out particular early users and the customers. So like if you have concern, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to give you a sense of like, if you give me a sense of like the amount of content, transactions, and amount of users that you're thinking about. We can try to give you a ballpark on like what we are thinking, even though that we don't have an exact knowledge on what is the guideline just yet.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that we're DAO people, and so we understand the challenges DAOs have paying for things, and one is just that per seat license, and your DAO may be 2,000 people or 5,000 people, maybe 20 or 100 are active in your workspace, and so a lot of DAOs are put in the position of, hey, do we pay for all 2,000, which is cost prohibitive, or do we just pay for the 50 people who are active, which then feels like you're closing the door to the rest of the DAO. And so big or small, we want all of your members to be able to access CharmVerse, and that's one of our guiding philosophies around how we would do pricing.
Yep. And we'll continue to have a free tier. That's for sure. So, there's another. Oh, thank you. There's another thing that we have heard that is coming, or we have been iterating on, is mobile experience. So we are again also in the real world of many people currently conduct their work, collaborate on mobile. We have been working hard on a mobile interface. We know that it is not as sweet as we would like it to be. So we certainly are making a lot of our functionality on a iteration by iteration basis, making it more and more mobile friendly. But yeah, we would love to hear from you. So like if there are particular use cases that you use mobile for and you don't love the interface, we would love to hear from you so that we can help prioritize some of those use cases. But regardless, we are on a week-by-week basis, trying to make the mobile experience better and better, because we know that is a key part of the interactions.
Right, and specifically in the short term here, it's going to be mobile web, but there's a lot of work to go. I use mobile a lot, so I run into a bunch of these things, but totally want it to be a first-class mobile system. Alex, I'm also interested in our discussions around hosting files and videos for DAOs, and so right now you can certainly link out to Google Drive and other places, but we hope to soon start working on file hosting and video hosting ourselves. And specifically, we hear of people who have workspace only content or community only content or token gated content, and they're not okay with just an unlisted YouTube video and a link to it, which is how a lot of token gating works today. And so we certainly hear that from a couple of our communities, and hopefully it's started on that pretty soon too.
Right. So yeah, when we say files, we particularly talk about video hosting, so that if you have videos that you want to put behind access control, that we can make that possible for you. So those are some of the definitely big pieces that we are tackling, or will be tackling in the coming weeks. Chris, anything else you want to add when it comes to product feature in the coming, let's say, November?
Sure. In the short time, I mean, lots of stuff. Our team ships so fast. I've only been with the CharmVerse team a couple of months here, and feel blessed to join a team that ships. And everyone here, you can be on our product updates channel every Friday. We post about the stuff we're shipping. We're doing interesting things around templates, so page templates, but also workspace templates. And so maybe you're an investment DAO and we can give you an investor DAO workspace template to get started. Lots of polished stories, certainly more embedding we're interested in, maybe Figma first, and then some other popular tools can get embedded. Little like improvements to, you can share a page with a workspace member, and then we found it can be you can share a public page, right? So you can share a public page to Twitter, and anyone in the world can see it. And then we found if you click on that link and you're a workspace member, it can be a little confusing on how you start to edit that page. And so a lot of that, there's a lot of like quality of life stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. And then some of these, mobile polish and template systems and Figma embedding, and the member director is the big one. So lots coming in the next couple of weeks even.
Yeah, and for those of you in the audience that are actively using our platform, particularly for things like templates or the type of other tools that you want to see us embedding into the Charm editor, please ping us. We are constantly love to work with you to build out our platform. So your voice certainly matters, and we will prioritize things based on what we hear from the community. So yeah, the particular tools that you want to see, or particular types of templates, please ping us. We would love to build with you. And
then the other helpful thing is even bugs, performance issues. Hey, this doesn't work good on mobile when I have a 3G network. Things that aren't quite bugs, but they didn't quite behave the way you thought it would be expected. I mean, all of that is super helpful because we capture a lot of this stuff, and then we're just trying to prioritize it. So it's good to know kind of the things that bother you the most, or the issues you bump up against the most, as well as like the aspirational features and new things we should be building.
Cool. That's I think that's us. Last call for any questions on the either here or in the general chat channel.
I'll just maybe close out by saying that our team is in Discord all day. That's where we do our work. And we love to engage with you guys in the channels. So certainly you don't have to wait for our AMAs to ask questions. We're always here. And we're always even happy to jump on a one-on-one with you and walk you through a feature or talk about how your DAO or your community is using the workspace.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming. We look forward to doing this on a regular basis. So hopefully this has been helpful, and we'd love to see you again in the coming either Twitter Spaces or AMAs in the future. Thank you.